Hi, it's Jeanette here from Far Forest Ceramics, and I'm based in the UK and I'm outside my home studio. Now, this is a little bit of a different video. On a Wednesday, I tend to share my test tiles, and I did some test tiles that were a little bit different. So I did some frozen pond circular tests. You may have seen them coming out of the kiln on a previous kiln opening, but I've had quite a lot of people asking me, how did I do them? What was the application? How did I get them so symmetrical? And how did I get on making my coasters? Well, the coasters that I made, first of all, the tests that I did were circular and they were on quite a thin clay body. So they did warp quite a little bit, which was not a problem because they were just tests. But when I did my coasters, I wanted to make them a little bit more sturdy. So my coasters, which these are just some examples of the coasters that I did, love the effects and designs. Now, with the combinations, that's what I'm going to share in the next 3 videos. And they are using Mako, Amaco and Spectrum glazes and unusual combinations that I've never seen used anywhere else before. But with these coasters, I made these thicker. So they were just over 0.5 centimetre thick in greenware stage. And after I fired them, I added 3 little cork dots on the bottom so they sit beautifully. And I took these to market, displayed them in a hamper, and they sold really, really well. They'll be going on the website soon as well, because I will definitely be making some more. So this is a behind the scenes as how did I do my frozen pond tests? Not the coasters, but it's the same principle. So what I'm going to show you is my process of how I approached making them and how I wanted to get them symmetrical. So hopefully that gives you a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm doing. And then, like I say, in the upcoming weeks, you will see the results and every different colour combination that I did. Hope you enjoy. So I do a rough guide for myself first as to how I'm going to do the application, because it can change significantly with the size of the piece. So I have just drawn 2 circles basically from the 2 sizes of tests that I'm doing, and I've then gridded off using these spacers that you can get very easily online. I'm going to do a 12 segment circle here and a 10 segment circle on the smaller ones, and I'm going to have 2 rows of dots. So I want to actually draw these lines on in pencil so I get a nice symmetrical effect, and I'm also going to do some lines down the centre so I know where my second layer is. Now, to me, I think this is so simple, but this is how my brain works. So I'm going to share with you what I do. So I literally just draw out on a piece of paper. This is the size of the coaster, so I've drawn a bigger circle. Then I've drawn, using these templates, the grids. So I can now just take a tile, and it just makes life a lot easier for me. I'm not resting the ruler on top because I don't want to scratch the glaze with the ruler, but I can line up the ruler on the lines. It doesn't have to be mega accurate, but it definitely helps when you're trying to do a set of something and you want some repetition. When I compare those I've done without this and those I've done with, I do prefer them with. I'll just get a turntable. I'll add a wet chamois over it. And then just using a ball tool and holding my finger at the side of the turntable, I can create grooves. I can use as a guideline. And then I would place my test tile on, and I want approximately my marking about 3 centimetres. So then the idea is you try and position your hand on the edge of the turntable so you can do that central marking. It's not mega accurate, but it's accurate enough. Now my small application, that is approximately 2.5 centimetres in. if I keep my finger in the same space, as you can see, this is my 12-part circle, this is my 10-portion circle, and it's so quick and easy to now literally do my grid lines. It also checks if my circle is centralised, so I can adjust accordingly. Like for example, this one is slightly off centre on my circle, so I can adjust when I'm doing my inner circle. I would say I'm doing like 32 tests here, so I've got 32 circles, and this process might take me in total 5 minutes, so in my opinion it's well worth it. So before I tell you what I'm doing with my application technique here, I have actually added 2 coats of a base glaze on every single test. They're Amaco, Mako and Spectrum, and then I add 2 coats of running hot chowder. Now I use this small sponge applicator, very inexpensive, from Amazon or craft shops, and I use that to apply the first row of dots using the pencil lines to guide me. The coats are very thin. It's very important that it's not dripping and running everywhere, but because these are flat, that works quite well. And then after you've done the first coat, you actually then need to go back and do a second coat of the dots. This actually doesn't need as many dips back into the running hot chowder because it just doesn't soak in as quickly for some reason. I actually put my running hot chowder on the lid of its glaze bottle, and then that is like just a small shallow container that I can dip into. When I'm doing the small ones, same principle again, using the pencil lines as a guide to help me know where I'm placing. And it did add a lot more symmetry to the piece, which I feel benefited significantly. These again also needed 2 coats. Now the extra thing that I did was I used a pipette bottle, and I added the running hot chowder into that and just literally applied it in dots. Because it's quite nice thick bulbous dots, it didn't need 2 coats of these dots. And when I look at the finished tests, I do think these dots did enhance the final design. They did bring something more to the table. I was able to make them a lot bigger and add more dots on the bigger pieces. And yeah, it's a very fun process to do. And then after I've applied these dots, I would then apply, when it's dried, another 2 coats of the final colour going over the top. So if you want to see all the tests that I did, they will be following up on the next 3 Wednesdays in 3 different colour bands. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this project, and I'm going to be doing an awful lot more of these frozen pond tests. Hope you're enjoying it, and maybe it's inspired you to try a few new different glaze combinations. I hope that gave you a little bit more of an insight into what goes in my head and my process for trying to do these gorgeous coasters. These will be on the website shortly, but if you want to check out the combinations that I did on all of the tests, here are the thumbnails that I'm going to be putting up. They are going to be coming out on the next 3 Wednesdays, the same time as this video. So if you want to check that out, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.